What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Life Partner Game podcast. My name is James,
I am Tina.
and we are here to talk to you about all things life partner-esque.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang. So we're here to talk to you guys about, being married. We're millennials, we're married. We're going to talk to you about all the good, the bad, and the ugly that comes along with being in a relationship and having a life partner. And there is some good, some bad, and some ugly. Ain't that right, baby?
I gotta say ugly. It's such a strong word. Some good, some bad, and some not so good.
So she's the eternal optimist. She's going to give you that perspective. I'm going to give you that raw, that real perspective of everything that happens when you marry. So we are approaching our 6th year anniversary, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So congratulations, you made it 6 years with me.
I still like you, I think.
You better. What you talking about? As a part of that, we wanted to come to you guys today to really, bring another video about things that we wish we knew prior to getting married. We've been married, we've been through a lot. There was a lot that we had to learn on our own. We did get some advice coming into it, but again, we're millennials, so the only real advice we got was from people that were older, my parents, your parents, the boomers. But it's a different day and age now. It's important for us to share these, what we wish we would have known going into it.
For people who kind of live life the way we do and that can relate to our experiences, because times have changed and it's just very different.
Yeah, it's different. For us, and we're 6 years in, we got 3 kids and a dog. She has, a budding career as an entrepreneur. I've been doing my thing too, so it's a lot to manage and still keep your relationship intact.
Yes.
So we've been working on that.
Yeah. Especially just right now in the time of 2020 and quarantine, and everything we're doing is operating out of our house, from parenting to work to just trying to manage life. We've learned so much about each other just this year.
Facts.
That is just, we want to be able to share that with you guys. So
Facts. So that's really what we're about, right? Is sharing with you guys, bringing you into our experiences, hoping that you guys can share your experiences too, and we can all learn from each other, because these journeys aren't easy. Whether you're in a relationship and you think you want to get married, whether you are married, we know everybody doesn't want to be married, but most people want companionship.
yeah.
So we're here to talk about all things companionship related, and just some of the things that you go through. So for this pod in particular, we're going to be giving you 6 things we wish we had known prior to getting married, and we've had to kind of go through these things on our own, figure them out. These were definitely things that I didn't know prior to getting married. I don't know about you.
That's a thing. Okay, let's just get into it.
So let's go, ladies first. You give us. We're gonna go 6, 3 and 3. So
Okay.
you go first.
So my first thing would be that forgiveness isn't strength, but so is apologizing. And I have always considered myself to be a very unapologetic kind of person. I'd rather, just live life and deal with the consequences after the fact. I'm not a very live with regrets or ask for permission kind of person. So having to get over myself and apologize when I mess up, or when I say something wrong or do something wrong or neglect something, or it's humbling.
Is
Not that I mess up a lot, but I
spoken like a true woman. Spoken like a true woman.
me. But no, it's something that I've really had to get better at, and I would absolutely say that I'm a lot better at it now than I was in our first couple of years of getting married. But just being able to put yourself in the other person's shoes and see the issue or the problem or whatever you're trying to overcome from their perspective just really helps you to be able to grow and to gel together. And it's not, it is, but it's not all about me all the time.
See, that's the problem. This is what I have to deal with. This is what I've been dealing with for 6 years.
And I have to be able to cater to and understand what he needs from me as a spouse too. So sometimes I have to eat my words, and sometimes I have to eat my actions, just because, if his needs aren't met, then we really aren't getting anywhere. So I've had to learn that, like, I guess I would say, like, first couple of years of marriage, if say we got into it and we would sit, and we're very stubborn, the both of us. So once somebody's mad, it's like, all right, I guess we just go sit here till somebody dies. Who's gonna apologize first? But now I'm like, look, all right, I cannot live like this. Look, I know we probably don't still 100% agree, but I know this, and this that I did on my part was wrong. So I want to apologize, and I want to sit down and talk about what we can do going forward to put each other's needs first on whatever this issue might be. Because especially right now, I can't be walking around the house on eggshells. It ain't like, you can go to work or go to the gym or go somewhere to like blow some steam off and feel better about it. If somebody mad, what you gonna do? Go downstairs? It's only gonna last so long. You have to come up to the kitchen and get some food. The kids gonna probably want to play. They don't even know you mad at each other or nothing. So no, I can't do it. So now it's like, look, all right, and whoever apologizes first wins, because then you're the bigger person.
So, look, again, this is who I'm dealing with. She's just super
now I'm the
petty.
bigger person.
She's just super petty. But I agree with that, though.
No.
I think, you have to, you got to apologize often when you're in a relationship with somebody. Because even when you don't necessarily feel like you did something wrong, like, you can't tell another person how you made them feel. So, if they felt disrespected or they feel hurt or whatever their feelings are about the interaction, like being able to say sorry and like authentically say you're sorry, I think it helps move things forward. And I will say that you have grown in that regard too. Sorry, it's our dog. He acting crazy back here. You have grown in that regard, because when I first met her, like, sorry was not in her vocabulary at all. She would just say whatever she wanted to say, and then that be that. And then I would say whatever I wanted to say too, and then we just clash. So that was a part of our growth, to really get to that point where we could both, authentically say we apologize for something, and then try to figure out the best way to move forward. So it's a good one.
Thanks. What's yours? What's your first one?
First one for me was the actual wedding day is probably going to be the least important day of your entire marriage. And I know that sounds crazy, and it probably sounds like, I didn't enjoy marrying you or our wedding day, but it's
fabulous. If I do say so myself.
Yeah, we had a dope wedding. But I will say that, we spent a lot of energy getting ready for that day.
We did.
And most people do. We got engaged on Christmas Eve. By August, we're getting married. So 8-month turnaround, we decided to get married. But just think about all the stress, all the money, everything that builds up to get to that day. Mm-hmm. And on that day, it felt great. But we know people who got married before us, who got married after us, who aren't married anymore.
Yeah.
And they had bomb, dope weddings too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, if everybody decided to take that same energy that they put into the actual wedding day and put that into the marriage, the divorce rate wouldn't be as high.
I agree.
So I really feel like people should talk about that more, because nobody told us that when we were like going through like the marriage counseling and all of that stuff. Nobody really talked about that day is just a day, and whether you spend $100,000 or you go to the courthouse, doesn't really matter. It's the work that comes after that day.
Yep, that is true. Because I don't know, it's especially just, I guess, my growing up, I didn't know a lot of married couples. Granted, my dad and my bonus mom were married, but they got married when I was 10. But just like the women, or just the families in my family, it's not a lot of marriage.
Right.
So just, you think that it's going to be just some kind of fairy tale after you say I do. And it don't go down like that at all.
Nah, bruh.
It's actually quite the opposite. Well, no, it hasn't been a nightmare, but it's you have to learn to grow together and to move as one and to understand each other and to be able to continue to put each other first. And that requires a lot of selflessness.
Yeah.
When most of us spend our entire lives, learning to be selfish.
Yeah.
So you have to unlearn yourself to, really be able to connect with somebody on that level. And it's a reality check.
It is, but it's necessary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to thrive, if you want to make it, if you want to, be with your life partner, till the end, right? Till you guys leave the earth, then you have to make that sacrifice. And those who can't or won't, they don't make it. Which is unfortunate, but it's like you said, like people, we grow, we change, we evolve. You have to evolve with your spouse too, because
you gotta grow together.
The person I was when we got married 6 years ago, I am not that person anymore. You aren't the person you were. Then I think, figuring out how to continue to support a person as they evolve is really, really important. Otherwise, you drift.
Yeah.
And then you don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. I was about to say something. My mind just went blank. Dang. I hope it comes back.
As usual.
I think it was something good. And this is not saying that, you shouldn't put energy into having an amazing wedding, because if that's what you want to do and you have, the money to do it, then by all means go for it. However, if we could go back 6 years ago and do it again, I wouldn't do it again.
Neither would I. No. And I mean, for me, I wasn't really stressed out. Like dealing with guys, it's not nearly as much as what women go through for the wedding day. But I think about the money we put into it, although we had a great time, like the wedding day is so everybody can come
for everybody else
and talk shit, and they want to see what you got going on, and they want to conversate about it and conversate. they want to talk bad about it or say it was popping or it was bad. It's a moment.
It's a popularity contest, just a little bit, and just knowing what we spent on our wedding, I would have rather had put a down payment on our house, which we ended up building immediately after, but we could have put a bigger down payment or just took an extended honeymoon, because we didn't get to honeymoon right away.
Right.
I don't know. It's just so many different things we could have done with the money. Hindsight, was one thing, and it was an amazing experience, and I love being able to look back at our photos and our videos, so I am glad that we have that. But if I knew now, then what I know now, we would have did all that. So,
yeah.
If you're planning a big old bash, when the world opened back up,
do it at your own risk.
Yeah.
But again, keep your eye focused on what's important.
Yeah.
Again, that day is just a blip on the radar.
It's really a blur. Thank God we have a video, because in the day, it was a blur.
Yeah.
It was a blur.
Absolutely.
I really wasn't able to fully take in everything that the day was until I watched the video, because it was a blur.
And it was just a lot. We'll give y'all a separate pod on,
it was such a blur.
everything that can go bad on a wedding day to then lead up to it being a great day once you let all the stresses go. But that's a whole nother pod.
Yeah, it was a blur.
So what's your number 3?
2.
Well,
you can't count.
Oh, 6.
Okay.
Who can't count? I'm the math major here. Don't try me like that in front of these people. You can't count. So we on number 3.
I can count these check.
What's your number 3?
I can't remember.
You barely can count them.
You know what? Y'all see what I be dealing with. Okay, my next one was, and this is kind of a big one for me. Your childhood baggage doesn't just go away. It actually, you just kind of open the bag and then you just dump it all out on the counter and be like, can you help me deal with this? Because I got issues.
Yeah, I think that's facts. I've been trying to call Ayana to fix this for 6 years now.
Hi family, I love y'all, but y'all know we got issues. And every family has issues, but it was some things that I went through in my childhood from just not growing up in the same house as my biological mother that caused a lot of issues with me, and then my parents having like really ugly child custody battles that did a number on me, and then just the just like family drama and that everybody has from fighting and bickering and jealousy and just not sibling rivalry, and just all kinds of stuff. But I would say the core of it was me realizing that I needed to deal with my mommy issues because it had it really had an effect on just how I allowed myself to give and receive love, not to just him but to our kids. I'm trying not to be a crybaby.
That's it.
But yeah, it's just it took because it's one thing for you to be able to share about things that you've been through and things that bother you and things that hurt you, but to actually want to work through them so that you can heal is a whole different set of worms. Because to heal, you gotta expose the hurt, and you gotta be able to trust somebody with those feelings and those thoughts and those emotions. And thank God for him being patient and having a little bit more of a stable childhood, I would say, just because I can only imagine that both of us were a mess in that regard, because you probably wouldn't have been able to support me, to support me through it, because you would be a mess too. But just patience and therapy and prayer, it can get you there, but they don't just go away. If anything, what am I trying to say? They manifest. They get bigger.
Yeah.
And if you don't deal with them, then they can spill over and create problems into your marriage because you mad at the wrong person.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I think for me the biggest thing was my upbringing was different. So initially, like, I didn't know what to do or how to support. And oftentimes I would find myself not angry at you, but angry at like what you went through.
Yeah.
And wanting to, because I can see as an outsider, like I can see, what the issues are and how they should be addressed, or the fact that nobody like wants to put them on the table and talk about them. But having to give you the space to kind of get to that on your own, though. Like not feeling like I can force you to go like, hey, you and this person had this issue from your childhood, y'all need to sit down and talk about it and then hash it out. And if you can hash it out, great. If not, boom. Like, that's how I would deal with it. But everybody deals differently. So
yeah, and you just meeting people the way I deal with people and the way you deal with people. That's been a thing for us too, because I am a very forgiving person by nature. As sharp as I can be with my tongue and as bitchy as I can be when I need to be, when it comes to people that I love, I'm willing to forgive. And it burns him up.
that shit eats me alive.
And so many people he would have had me just like throw away, family, friends, whatever. But I have a very big heart in that regard. So it's some things that have happened, and he's just like, I don't know why you still dealing with these people. And I'm just like, I don't know why I'm still dealing with you, but I love you. And that's how I am with people that I love. So that was it. Once he was able to, wrap his mind around the fact that, the way I handle people and the way he handled people, and he gave me the space to be able to handle people my way, you did become very much more supportive in that regard. So I appreciate you for that, baby.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's a Scorpio in me too. Like, we hold grudges, and we don't. If somebody does us wrong, then that's it. You get one, maybe two times, and then it's a wrap. And seeing that was different, because you get people like 20 times, and they be like, still somehow y'all make it back, and I'd be like, before I would get tight about it, and then as the years went on, I was like, there's really no point in me trying to even give you my opinion on those relationships, because you gonna go back and be friends with the person anyway. So I just listen. If there is a dispute, if it's friends, if it's family, whatever, I know in the back of my mind y'all will eventually come to work it out. I'm not emotionally invested in it. Like, if that's what makes you happy, then that's what makes you happy, and I just have to support that. But don't try me like that, people, because you already know. You don't get them chances with James.
You just cut anybody off.
Hey. Get up out of here. Alright, so that was number 3.
So number 4.
Number 4 for me was, and this one, if you watched the video last year, then you kind of heard me talk about GTD, but I did not know going into a marriage that scheduled sex is a real thing. And it's crazy because, you know, when you're young and you don't have kids, like, you could do whatever you want to do when you want to do it. But
and that's why we got all these kids now.
I mean, yeah. But then when you start growing into, you know, the Huxtables or the Black Brady Bunch with all these kids running around, like, it's tough. And then, you know, she's grown a lot as, you know, a business owner and an entrepreneur. And then, you know, I'm an entrepreneur and I work. There's all these things that are happening.
Pulling in 1,000 different directions.
So many different directions. And sometimes you do have to say, yo, like, tonight, when you put the kids down, it's on the calendar. Like, we're going in, it's happening, don't go to sleep, or I'm waking you up if you do go to sleep, because, like, we got to get it done.
Yeah. And it's not even to just try to, what am I trying to say? It can see, I guess it can sound like a bad thing when you say it out loud, but it's not. It's just, there are so many things that happen in our lives that if they are not on the calendar, they don't get done.
Yeah.
I'm talking about things that involve the most, you know, important people in our lives, the kids. I will forget some stuff with these kids because I'm doing so many things and I have so many deadlines and so many responsibilities. And then we have 3 kids, we have each other, we have a dog, we have household responsibilities. You know, we're many things to many people. So it's like, it's easy to be, I be looking for my glasses and they on my face.
And that is a true story.
So I forget a lot of things in my day. Mom brain is beyond real. And then sometimes by the end of the day, between work and juggling the kids, trying to keep them out of the way because he's on like a lot of calls and things during the day, these kids will wear me out. So if I'm not like, Tina, you got to stay up tonight because, you know, it's been a couple of days, y'all got to do this, then I will fall asleep trying to put Luke to sleep because sometimes that's a whole battle in itself. He is the sleep fighting champ of the world, and sometimes he wins.
Yeah.
So
and when you get into bed with him, like, you know, because they got the white noise on and everything too. So even if there's like scheduled sex on the calendar, she'll get to fighting with Luke. Like, everybody done bathed and everything, and I come down there thinking like, oh, all right, it's gonna go down, kids asleep, and this one sleep too.
You got to tap me on my
Glasses
shoulder.
on her face, knocked out, like slumped over. So I'm, you know, hey, let me get
Tap
your
me on my
glasses up off
shoulder.
here.
I'll roll over.
Hey, we already had this agreement. This was on the books. Like, you are going to fulfill your obligations today, man. We getting this in. So, I mean, you got to do that though. Like, it's important intimacy is very important, you know, and it's hard to lose. It's easy to lose sight of that.
Yeah.
As your family grows, as your commitments grow, and like, to your point, in a 24-hour day, like, the day is booked up.
Yeah, it is.
You know, outside of the dedicated time to sleep, like, the whole day is booked up. And that means, like, you don't get a lot of interactions with friends and family and all of that. So, you know, we trying to keep everything together in this household.
And it's not even that we, and especially right now, because it's just been us. We don't have like a bunch of family here that we can, like, you know, take the kids to for like a day. So we gotta maneuver and sneak around, you know, while the kids are asleep.
Yeah.
That's our only avenue. So
or we could just show them. Like, them hippie families in California just be showing their kids that sex is a real thing and all. We could just do that, you know, like.
No, I'm good. So we have to maneuver around the kids being asleep, and I'm glad you're more understanding now, because probably back when Zoe was a baby and things had starting to just like change in terms of our family dynamic and just the amount of things that we all had going on. This was like a frustration point for us.
Yeah.
So now being able to have this conversation and, you know, him knowing that these kids will be wearing me out, or you know, on the days where we are planning to do stuff, he's very intentional about helping me get the kids down for bed, or, you know, helping with their bedtime routine. Like, you know, let's hurry this up because I'm trying to spend some time with your mama. So, you know, all of that stuff, it really helps. It's because it's easier to want to throw it back when, you know, I'm not completely exhausted.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that helps.
For sure. All right. What's
It's
number
my
5?
turn again. I won't keep locking. I'm sorry.
Supposed to have his number on.
No, I don't even know where my glasses at. So my next one, or my third one, or our fifth one.
We had seen number 5,
Our fifth
man.
one,
And she
sorry.
talking about math, and she's struggling over here. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's number 5.
Our fifth one is that the little things do matter.
Yeah.
It's easy to you know, hold on to the mantra. Mantra is a mantra or mantra?
Mantra.
Mantra.
Forgive her. She's, her name is Sparkle for a reason.
I'll be trying to say I got a stripper brain. Don't sweat the small stuff, but the small stuff festers into big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the little spats, the small moments that you forget, you know, they can turn into big things. But at the same time, the little things do matter. Like, you know, being more hands-on with the kids, or, you know, randomly giving a foot rub or a head massage, or, you know, saying, you know what, baby, I can't even say that. Well, I can say, I'll do bath tonight, because I was going to say, you know what, baby, don't worry about it, I'll cook tonight, but you always cook. So I guess me saying that, or, you know, just like you taking the kids out in the evening so I can try to, you know, finish up some work, because I have them for the most part during the day. All that little stuff, just to let the other person know that you see them, that you recognize what they're doing, you know, for you or for the family, or that you can see the signs that when they might need a break.
Yeah.
Those things, they absolutely matter. And they might not even, they don't seem significant at the time, but they can feel significant to the other person, especially if you're communicating it to them in a way that's their love language.
Yeah.
So yeah, the little things, they absolutely matter, good or bad. Because if you don't address the bad little things and you continue to allow things to build up instead of saying something at the moment when they bother you, you end up exploding.
Yeah.
So,
Hold that thought.
okay.
Because we're at 28.
Oh, you gonna stop it and restart?
Yeah, so I agree with you. The little things do matter, and I think it's easy to forget about those things, you know, when life just gets crazy and hectic and everything. So I think it's become even more important in 2020 to pay attention to the little things, just because like, we stuck in the house. There's nowhere for us to go.
You got all the time in the world to notice the little things.
You have, yeah, you know, it's easy to, like, you know, if I'm traveling,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm not around, or, you know, we're FaceTiming or whatever, like, I don't get to see your body language. I don't get to, like, see how, you know, how you're doing mentally. But when you're present and you all are locked within the same four walls, you can notice those things. And I think, you know, it's important to kind of just step up without being asked to, or, you know, somebody suggesting it, and just going out and doing it.
Yeah.
And that's just paying attention to the humans that are around you, right? Like, we all have the ability to kind of see when somebody is flustered, or, you know, frustrated, upset, or stressed out, or whatever. Like, so I think it's important. And, you know, you also do the same thing. Like, you can tell, like, all right, like, daddy's he's stressed out right now. Let's go do something, or let's get out of daddy's hair, or like, you know, you give me that space when you notice that something is going on. And I try to do the same with you because I realized being in the house this year that, you know, it is a lot with 3 kids. And it's different. If we were able to take the kids to sports or do those different things that they normally do, then it wouldn't be like as taxing. But if we all stuck in the house all day long,
and they just got
energy.
all this energy, they're literally running circles around us.
So they have all that energy and they have no real outlets other than when we take them out in the front or take them for a walk or whatever. So I get it. So it's important, you know, like I'll try to jump in and, you know, cook dinner or handle bath time or take them outside so you can have some uninterrupted time to work if you want to do that. Or now that, you know, school is back in, like trying to get upstairs to cook and, you know, to make lunch midday. So it's those little things that may not amount to nothing for most people, but it means a lot when somebody can take a load off of you so that you
and
can
I think the biggest way we've been able to do that for each other right now is just to, when we realize that the other person might be frustrated or stressed or something, it's just to find a way to give the other person some moments of silence because they are literally non-existent right now. So
that's a good one. So number 5, number 6 for me, and it's kind of piggybacking off of that though, and I think it's a really important one. And it's, you know, you have to find comforts, you know, in having uncomfortable conversations and being in uncomfortable moments. And I didn't really think about this prior to getting married. You know, when you're dating people, you can run away from stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you might not live together. You might not want to be with that person long term. So you don't always have to have those uncomfortable conversations. And if you do have it, then if it doesn't go well, you just dip. You know what I mean? Like, no sweat off my back. But when you get married to somebody, to your point earlier, like, it's very easy for things to fester. And, you know, there's a lot of interactions and there's a lot of feedback that should be given, but oftentimes people don't want to give the feedback because of fear of how it's going to come out, how the other person's going to receive it, or whatever. But I think having those uncomfortable conversations has actually helped us in a lot of regards because we're able to just say what the issue is. We're able to say what the issue is, and whether you want to hear it or I want to hear it at that time, we can still get to the bottom of, or the root cause of why the person is saying that. What's the problem with the behavior, and then addressing it. But if you aren't comfortable having uncomfortable conversations, then you're just gonna walk around like pissed off all the time because you can't speak.
You can that, and is that because you feel like you're walking on eggshells because you can't express yourself, or on the flip side, you end up being the person that somehow thinks you're always being attacked versus the person just trying to tell you from their perspective, you know, how something is making them feel or what their experience was. And, you know, perspective is everything. So we can be talking about a similar date or a similar moment in time, and the way I saw it and the way he saw it is not the same way at all.
Right.
But the only way to, you know, get to a solution is to be able to find room to receive the other person's perspective and to be able to, I guess, to listen without the intent to respond. Just, you know, to listen, to receive, to really try to understand what the other person is trying to communicate to you.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get comfortable having those uncomfortable conversations, and I would say, you know, even for us, it wasn't always easy to do that, especially not for her.
I'm perfect.
Because it's that attitude right there, right? And, you know, she'll do that thing. You know, she's a daddy's girl and she was the first kid, so, like, she's really a baby. So when you tell her something, you know, whether she wants to hear it or not, like before, it would be like waterworks. She'd just start crying. And I'm like, bro, I ain't even finished the thought yet. You already crying. That don't even make no sense. And I'm talking calm and everything. Like, there's no aggression in my voice. And you already crying. But, like, it was because she didn't really want to have those conversations. She would rather just stay status quo, keep things going the way they're going, regardless of how I feel about it, because she was just a spoiled brat. But, as we've, evolved and grown and matured, we know we have to have the conversations now. And again, 2020, you can't be stuck in the house with somebody you don't like, bro. Like, it just won't work. Like, I'm sure, I don't know what the divorce rate is in 2020.
Everybody might not make it out.
Yeah, everybody gonna live, though. So, like, if you can't have these conversations now, then you in trouble.
When can you have them?
You know what I mean? So you gotta have them. You gotta prioritize them. Otherwise, like,
Yeah.
you just ain't gonna make it.
No, not at all. So yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah. So, it's been 6 long years. Dealing with you.
What you trying to say?
But I'm happy to be here. But we hope y'all enjoyed those 6 things. We wish we knew prior to coming into this marriage, but it's been fun. It's been a journey. There's nobody else I would rather be doing life with.
You better clean that up. That 6 long years. You better clean it up.
It's still been 6 long ass years, but I appreciate those 6 years. So thank y'all for tuning in. We are that Life Partner Gang. Appreciate y'all joining us. We're gonna be hitting y'all with new content and videos every week. So make sure you like the video, you subscribe to our channel, and hit those comments. Like, let us know what are some things that you thought or things you wish you would have known prior to getting married. And if you aren't married, tell us,
whether or not this was helpful.
Whether or not this was helpful to you, and other things you want to see us talk about here in the future. So appreciate y'all again. I'm James.
I'm Tina.
And we are the Life Partner Gang.
Gang.
Peace, y'all.
Bye.